Reggae interviews. Word sound power.
DJ 745 here with Meta Ja, lead singer for Meta and the Cornerstones, for a virtual reasoning. He's over in Brooklyn, New York. I'm in the UK, and the powers of modern technology connect us together virtually. Welcome to Reggae Interviews.
Thank you very much, King. Yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Likewise, it's a real pleasure to have you here to hold a reasoning.
Yes,
you just released a brand new 16-track album on the Meteorize Music Group label. Tell the viewers, first of all, what is the title of this brand new album?
Yes, the title actually is my last name. Pretty much it's a way of gratitude for my continent, where I come from, and my tribal, Fulani tribal, who participate a lot in my education, all of that. So, and that teaching I wanted to highlight because, you know, in Senegal, I don't know if you're familiar with it, is like a amazing country where spirituality, cultures is a nice diversity. It's always that peace, love, and harmony. So one moment I had to, you know, give them that gratitude, you know, with one of my albums, mostly in this lifetime where we all see what's going on in the world, you know, with the social justice, all of that. And I wanted to highlight few problems, but also to find a way out in giving, you know, upliftment, motivation towards the message, and but you know, highlight the problems, but give them also a way out with the light. And Ja mean light also in my Fulani tribe. It mean source of light. And I know that we all need light right now in our mind, in our heart, you know, in our actions. So that's what it's about.
Yeah. I think I hear what you're saying, because, you know, you're covering so many themes that are so relevant to the world right now, that we're traveling through: war, violence, poverty, racial discrimination. You know, it's a very nice collection of music, but it's also filled with messages of hope and upliftment as well.
Exactly. That was the point, to highlight these 4 parts: social justice, political, you know, all of this, you know, the poverty, everything. But yes, we can overcome, you know, with also the main message that I wanted to give out there is forgiving. Because forgiving is one of the, you know, beautifulest thing a mankind can have in his heart. You know, we have to learn how to forgive, because we tend to also a lot of time go in the past and stories repeating itself. But the moment I feel like we found forgiveness in our heart, within ourselves, forgive one another, there is the healing process then there, and a new beginning, you know. Exactly.
Okay. So look, This is your 4th album. I believe that the album was actually recorded where I am in the UK.
Yes.
At a studio that's very legendary, which I want you to actually share with the viewers. First of all, what is the name of the studio where this album was recorded?
Yeah, it's recorded at the Real World Music Studio of Peter Gabriel in the UK.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful experience. From my 3rd album, I went there for the first time to record the music. And my experience was pretty much, it's so beautiful as an artist to be somewhere that not a lot of distraction going on. You can just focus making your record. You wake up in the morning, you open the door, you're seeing the studio, and you're writing and doing, and the way it is set up with the environment, all of that is so inspiring and beautiful. And I think like is like a mecca for a lot of singers.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
I think that there's a very long list of people that have actually recorded music there. But how did a young man from Senegal come to learn about this studio? How did the connection come about?
Well, you know, I always love not only music but quality. You know, I always like to serve the meal well cooked. You know, it's very important for me. So I go online, I search a studio, I listen record to, there was one of amazing singer from Senegal named Youssou Ndour. Also, I listened to his record and I know that he did some recording there and many others, Yuma Sekela, all of that, Jay-Z, all of that. So, and I go online, check the photos, the videos. I'm like, well, this is mostly when it's open space too. I love that. I'm like, this is the place. Exactly, I'm gonna go, try out with reggae music. But the beginning, I was hearing many talks like, oh, you have to go to a reggae studio to be able sometime to print, the drum sound, all of that. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go, we'll find a way to make it, happen and get that sound. And it works,
It does work, it definitely does work.
Yes.
When I went to some of the images of the studio, I was completely blown away because I think that it's set on an old mill, so there's a lot of water around this.
Water around it, exactly. Yeah. Trees, water, and the stuff, great people, really, and the quietness you get. As an artist, I felt like you bring your product, your music, and the place also does something to you. It meets you there. It's like you go to the mountain to meditation, you are there with that mountain, no distraction, you oversee things and within you and be able to express yourself very well. Yes.
So tell the viewers, what sort of time period did you record this album over? How long did you spend in the UK?
Yeah,
album?
I pretty much went twice with this album. We went there for the first 10 days.
Okay.
Just recording, the basic, the foundation of the music, all of that. And the last 3 days, I started doing the vocals. But since I was producing the album, my whole focus was in production, not as a vocalist. So after, I went back for 1 week in Paris and take a break a little bit, listen to the riddims, the whole, recording. And there are a few songs that I was like, okay, these ones I think I deliver, but doing two things at the same time is very difficult. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the studio and just be with the engineer by myself and give. So I went back after 1 week and focused on doing the vocals.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you, because I think that when you're trying to wear two different hats at the same time,
yeah, definitely,
it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the clips on your Instagram page as well, and it seems like you've had a lot of fun and there's been a lot of excitement in putting this album out.
Exactly. Mostly I feel like my favorite moments are, collecting and connecting all of these musicians from different parts of the world and meeting in Paris for like 1 week and rehearsal and get to, some of the vibe together and be able to travel together. All of that, it's just like, for me, is also musical. It's part of the music. That's what's make the music come to its right position, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're absolutely right, because, when I've listened to the album over the weekend, I see a lot of different musical influences from different regions of the world. And I think was that something that you intentionally set out to create?
Yeah, definitely, intentionally. I started building this album 5 years ago in my home studio in New York, taking my time, building all the demos, the ideas, get to oversee it properly. And a lot of times though, it's like, because of I love music, many genres I listen, so I always try to find a way to bridge it with all different genres of music, and thinking about artists. Sometimes I'm making music, I'm thinking about one specific artist, because I'm like, if things fall through, I can be able to present this to this artist and we can work. I'm seeing the whole picture before I actually go to set it in place. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, look, I think that you started by saying that the album is very much about forgiveness. Now, the song that comes into my mind immediately is probably what I would call the lead single from the project, Breeze.
Yes.
You know,
Breeze.
ain't no wall between earth and sky. Ain't no wall between you and I. We are called to come together and learn from each other. Let's
Exactly.
share the messages of Breeze with the viewers of Reggae Interviews.
Yes, yes, definitely. So Breeze, what triggered me to pretty much write that song, when I was watching the news and seeing the borders, when the President Trump was around with those kids separated to their family, all of that. Okay, that touches me, you know. But they said every story that is a two side. You want to also know what you're talking about, you know. You have to also respect each land with what they about, you know what I mean? For me, being open to understand what this land require maybe doesn't necessarily mean that's what the other land require, you know? So in that big view, I look at it, I'm like, wow, it's still very sad to be dividing people from their parents, all of that. And I wanted to make the call also the beginning in this country, because Operation the Father, the Indian Father also went through that, you know, from the native. So, and I just said, I hear the wailing of the Indian Father in Assam, meaning in the land of Uncle Sam, where the buffalo spirits chanting down Babylon, meaning the oppression, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, pretty much highlight that part, and also saying that we cannot hold on to the past, to the pain that humanity been through, you know what I mean? We only have to forgive to be able to move forward, because the true message is we are created in tribute and nations to get to know one another, and to be able to, you know, open up. And a lot of times it's fear out there that makes people kind of skeptical from one another. But I feel like when forgiveness clears our heart, we won't have doubts now. We will be able to see each other in the, you know, right lenses and progress. That was pretty much the message. Yes.
And you've also had a video to that single as well, Breeze. And
Breeze, yeah.
Footage from the Real World Studios as well with the video.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun.
It definitely looks like you've had a lot of fun in making the project, for real.
Yeah,
one of the other songs that I really love on the album is Conqueror. I really love the horn section on that. It has a really vintage feel to it, almost a regal or royal feel, yet it still sounds so fresh.
Definitely, definitely. Conqueror too, you know, it have a part that is very spiritual. You know, it's like I'm describing washing negativity that is inside. And I use the sun as a big rising star that will rotate without troubling nobody.
Okay.
So pretty much on my first verse, I'm talking about I'm shuffling the hi-hats like a blade cutting the ropes of oppression. You know, because for me, when reggae music play and I hear the hi-hats, that's what I visually see.
Okay.
And the album also is fighting oppression in any kind of forms. I put that first line out there, and I said, and I wash all stains away. Bring your love and affection, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
And I'm tapping to the heights, meaning that I'm opening myself in meditation, and I will submit to the wills of the Most High, because the wills of the Most High is already great. If we look around us, we can see the generosity, you know what I mean? So it's a matter of being submit to that wills and go freely. So that's what's the first verse about. So now there is also, every man has a battle within themselves. So I describe it, I snatch the devil you know, by the hand, hang him cold by the sea, watch him die and burn to ashes on the trail of misery. So I fight my own demon also, and open up my mind again, tap it to the highs, to submit to the wills of the Most High. And on the break, we come to make a statement that we are the true riders of the healing music, because we are all healers, you know, we heal each other. And for me, music is there to uplift, to motivate, to heal people. Yes. Yes.
One thing that I really enjoyed on the album is the fact that those two songs, as an example, they come in at over 6 minutes. So,
yes,
you know, you really get a chance to sort of really sort of like, almost sort of like, I don't know, go deeper within the song, within the message. And it's not as if it's cut short. I really enjoyed the fact that, you know, nowadays we seem to be making very much more disposable music, and this is given the full treatment, the full respect that I think it deserves.
Exactly. And I hear this also when I finished the album. Some friends was like, the songs are very long. I'm like, well, the information that is given, he gives it this way. So to go out there to try to be okay, to try to go by the idea, people have a short time span. They just want 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3 minutes. I'm like, no, this is something that I wanted to stay, and I have to do it right. It's a you know, introduction, development, and conclusion. You know, you have to lay the full story out there. So, you know, in the musical world today, everybody wants a 3-minute song, 1 minute, you know, 2.5. But I feel like depends to the song. If the song asks 5-6 minutes, be it, let it go.
Yeah,
let it play.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You mentioned obviously earlier on about, you know, the different musicians that have been involved in this new album. Let's talk about the Cornerstones. I mean, who are the Cornerstones? Let's introduce the members.
Well, the Cornerstones pretty much it varies, you know. It's always, for me, all the musicians are cornerstones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the great musicians out there are cornerstone. But as a touring artist, we move, we travel, we meet other musicians. And for the music to be able to always take different steps and different level, we have to be open also to collaborate. So Meta and the Cornerstone is a concept, you know, but it's not a specific band members who are there, but it could be in the next album, so and so, so and so, so and so, but is just the way I see the Cornerstones. But with this album, we have Abu Bass, we have 3, I think, different bass player, 5 different keyboardists, you know, 1 drummer, no, 3 drummer actually, you know. So I just move like that with all of my album. And there are definitely musicians that I've been playing with for many years, like Ayakato, Rupert Mackenzie, and the rhythm section always vary, things like that. But right now we have Cubics, Abu Bass, Colin and Daniel Adelaide, Simon on drums. Yeah.
Okay. So really what you're saying is that the Cornerstones is an ever evolving group of musicians. There's going to be people that may have been on projects before that might not be on this project. They might come back for the future. I hear that.
Exactly. I mean, great.
Yeah, I guess that for you as an artist, you know, touring, I know we've not been able to do any touring for what seems like such a long time, but it must be so important to have a solid group of band members behind you when you do finally get to go on that stage.
Exactly. And the beauty about this is like all of these musicians that play in this 4 album, every time, let's say we have tours or, you know, anybody can come and they know the music and we just go, and also to them, they get to know each other. So this is the beautiful thing, you know, about it. Yes.
Yeah. Now, you've I think you've been a resident of New York for what, maybe almost 2 decades, and musically, I think hip hop was your first calling.
Totally. Yes.
Let's explore that a little bit, because I'm really intrigued to learn that. How did you, you know, sort of, well, first of all, transition moving from Senegal physically over to New York, and you know, what gave you that drive to move continents?
Yes, you know, music. When I was in Senegal, I started as a rapper.
Okay.
So I was rapping, I was known as a rapper. But seeing MTV music that time, and the way also music is done in the Europe and US, it always fascinating with the videos, the quality, all of that. And as a child, I was always so, you know, open towards the music, the international music, you know what I mean? Was, you know, always trying to learn also different language to sing, and different foreign language things like that. So one moment I tell myself, I want to go to New York, and actually to Detroit, because that time, I don't know if you remember, there was this movie about Eminem, Detroit. I'm like, I want to go there, Detroit bottle, like the rappers do the bottling, all of that. So anyway, when I came to America, it was the first time very difficult because, you know, I didn't speak English in Senegal. I had to just step by step learning the thing. So I go to some hip hop jam and try to participate, all of that. And I know how to play guitar though. So sometimes I sit down, I jam. People say, yo, you sing better than you rap, you know, and you have a reggae voice, you know, in your singing. Okay. And I know in Senegal, I love reggae too. My mom was a big fan of Gregory Isaac, Bob Marley, all of that. So the more I jam, you know, and discovering also this beautiful culture that is in New York, that spiritual vibration starting to tap into me, you know. And the more I started to speak English and understand the language, I felt that hip hop has a two side also. There is a side that very edgy and rough, lyrically very, you know, aggressive. And there are also a side that there is positive, like Talib Kweli, Mos Def, all of that, that genres of music. So I tell myself, you know, in Senegal, I rap, but very spiritual rap and very engaged lyrically. You know, I care about society, care about people. I want to give, for me, music, I want to give good message, motivate, uplift, all of that. So listening though to more reggae, I realized, well, this is the music that speaks lyrically to my heart. So that's what, you know, dragged me actually to reggae music.
Okay. So does that mean that we're not going to see the hip hop sort of side of Metaja now on record, or do you think that may be an avenue that we might sort of explore again?
Yes, it will come. I'm actually, I have a lot of material right now where I rap, you know, I kind of blended trap music and reggae, but for me, I want to also bring my first backbone, solidify it, and after, you know, open up more to sharing the other side of me. But lyrically will be the same, the message is the same, you know. Yeah. So exactly, yeah.
Because I think that, you know, as you're sort of describing your journey, I'm sort of thinking of an artist that's, you know, doing some really big things at the moment in reggae, but also he has that hip hop flow, Kabaka Pyramid.
Exactly. Yeah, he's amazing. I watched some of his video where he's flowing and ripping it really nice. Yes. And actually we in that time where, you know, the music have to melt together that way and, you know, project it, you know, because it's constantly changing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I think, you know, overall or above everything, I think that reggae and hip hop, they've almost been like very close relatives of one another.
Definitely. They are brothers, actually.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yes. On one of your previous albums, I think it was back in 2013, Ancient Power, you actually got to actually go over to Jamaica and you recorded the album at Tough Gong Studios. That must have been an experience.
Big time experience. And for me, that was actually one of the first time I felt like, you know, in it, you know what I mean? I get to see and feel reggae at its, best, because Bob Marley is one of the artists that inspired me big time. I admire his way of seeing and lyrics, all of that, So to be at Tough Gong Studio and get to meet many great players and singers like Damien, Squidly Cole, Capleton, Uroy, all of that. And also I saw a part of Africa right there on my face. I'm like, well, this is like Senegal pretty much, the feel, the vibration, all of that. So it was a really great experience, and see how the musicians also approach the music and play. Everything is so natural, is within them. They lay the music right there, and the groove is like, it makes me like, I feel like I'm swimming in a nice ocean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Was that your first trip to Jamaica then?
Yeah, it was my first trip. Yeah. And since then, I keep going. I'm hooked to the island, So, and every project also, I have to go there and to do a part of the work there, because it's very important. Mostly with this album, I needed to, go there and link up with Shane Brown, who's also amazing, and do some mixing work with him. Yes.
Right. Okay. I mean, you mentioned some artist names, and I think that you've actually collaborated with some of these artists. So obviously, we know of the collab with Damien. You've also got a song with Capleton, the late and great Danny Roy. Also Peter Morgan as well from
Peter Morgan, exactly. Yeah. Actually, Peter Morgan was one of the first reggae artists from Jamaica that I collaborate with in New York. It was also a fun time hanging out with him in Brooklyn, getting stuck in elevators. It was really nice.
Getting stuck in elevators. You need to tell us more. What happened?
Beautiful, because we were going to a location that was a very, older warehouse, a very raggedy place. And that's those kind of old elevators, then you have to pull the thing and suddenly everything stopped. We were like, whoa, what's going on? Those moments are fun. It was also a really beautiful collaborating with Peter Morgan. And to just say it also, Morgan Heritage, they are one of the reggae bands that touches the Senegalese heart big time. I remember when they went to Senegal, even them, they were surprised by the amount of love that were waiting for them at the airport, mostly in a French-speaking country, to be able to know your lyrics and sing your song that way. And I remember myself, when I was even at school, I was a lot of time listening to Morgan Heritage when they first came with their album. So they are like a Senegalese, I don't know, reggae love in the heart, you know what I mean? So it was very beautiful to be able to bridge the gap with them. Also, it pleased a lot of Senegalese people, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about collabs, Julian Marley, he's one of your guests on the great cover of his father, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Concrete Jungle, which is a song that you've covered for this new album, along with another artist, Malik Work.
Yes.
What does Concrete Jungle mean to you?
Well, Concrete Jungle is pretty much big cities, for me. That's what it means. Big cities where also we are not leaving space for the environment. You know what I mean? Tall buildings, speed, running, money. No time to look at each other and pay attention to each other, a proper greet, but I guess that's the way the world functions right now, Some people need to move fast. For me, that is the Concrete Jungle and the roughness, the edge, all of that. But for me, the Concrete Jungle also can be very inspiring because it can strengthen you as a human being, because we can be in rough places. Doesn't mean that we have to be rough. maybe we can be in rough places to soften also everybody to be able to realize that, yo, yes, let's move, but let's not forget each other, because we are the most precious things also too. We are human, we are alive, we are here. All these materials, this thing we see, is man who created that. But us, we are here and we are very important, you know? Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
You've got some other collabs on the album as well. The song called Majesty.
Yeah.
Featuring an artist Summer, and also Trespass as well.
Trespass, yeah.
Yeah.
Majesty with Summer. Summer is a great also singer, you know. And when Donovan from VP Records showed me her work, I was like, wow, we gotta have her in the album. Let's go for it, you know. Because when I heard her voice, I automatically heard her voice singing Majesty also. I'm like, let's do it. And it was very nice collaboration. We did it long distance, you know, because of the pandemic. So, but it came very beautiful. With Skanking Monks also too, the same way, you know. I met them in the Netherlands years ago. And while I was processing the album, you know, we were in touch over the phone, things like that. Yo, we have to do something. You guys also play heavy roots. Come on, let's do it. And we just jump on it, and it was the vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. There's one song that keeps sort of going through my head as I've been listening to the album, and that song is a song that's called Cells.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but at the moment it seems to be the song that I keep going back to again and again and again on the album. Let's talk about Cells, because to me that's a very powerful but a very deep song as well.
Exactly. Well, Cells actually, that song came while we are on the road to make the album.
Okay.
Suddenly it came, I had the guitar, suddenly I just feel it deep in my heart, in my soul, vibes and spirit. Maybe that moment, there was a lot of bubbles of emotions maybe that I was feeling, and I want to free myself. There was a lot of joy. There was also a lot of intensity, everything that was going on. Also too, it wasn't easy to put this project together. It asked a lot of effort, lots of, you know, movement. So I was exhausted also that time, you know. And but the music just was there, you know what I mean? So, and it just came naturally. I wasn't there thinking too much, you know, about what to write. Just say, choose your canvas. You can write whatever you want, my darling. Ain't no pain. Just, we can feel it in our heart, in our soul and spirit. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you said that you went through a lot of like, you know, sort of trouble or discomfort in making this album. What was the biggest challenge for you in making this album?
Well, is organizing it, and also when you see the vision, how you want it. Mostly, I feel like it happens sometimes to artists. I want it to be exact that way. I'm very stubborn maybe in that. I'm just chasing that. It has to be that way. So okay. with the going to Europe and the musicians that I want to have, the phone calls, all of that, I was organizing this myself, giving call, hey, you know, managing also the band, the whole project, you know, the demo also too. We were here like pretty much 2 days straight, no sleeping pretty much, putting it together, calling this keyboardist here, come ladies for me, you know, with a clean hand, these things like that. So by the time I arrive in Europe, you know, sometimes with organizing flights, all of that, sometimes things are not in the same, booking the rehearsal studios, hotels, all of that. So it wasn't really easy, but, you know, I had to take also this part and learn how to manage it and organize it, because us artists sometimes manager have to do everything. you know, you have to have assistant, things like that. I'm like, I'm gonna go for it. You know, I know how it worked, but I went for it. But at the same time, well, it was draining my energy so much. But there was also lots of love about the tunes. I couldn't wait also to hear the whole musician come together and play it. So that was challenging. And, you know, the patience also that it required, because a lot of times when we start, we want to just go and bam, bam, bam. And it wasn't happening this way. I had to take the project with the overdubs and get this guitar player that I couldn't get to England, go in another session in studio in France to do the overdub, figuring out the background vocal, how we're gonna put it, how I'm gonna vibes to it, all of that. It was very challenging, but yes.
It all went up though. It all went up good though.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, tell the viewers, where is the album available?
Yes, actually it's available on all of digital platforms, Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify. You know, they can get it definitely. And we're having soon the CDs, vinyls also available next week.
Yeah, I heard that there's a double vinyl coming as well. Is that true?
Double vinyl, yeah, that's true. Yes.
Okay, wow, okay.
I'm excited for that one.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, because I'm like, the digital is beautiful, but we like to feel the physical copy, you know, to get in connection, you know. It's very important.
I need to get a copy to put here, don't I?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I saw a beautiful collection. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yours is coming soon.
What's the plans now then? So I know that obviously, I think that a lot of people are now looking towards 2022 to go out there on tours. Is that the intention for Metal and the Cornerstones?
Yes, definitely. We are very looking forward to be out there, because that's why also we put the album there to share it. But the best of sharing is to sharing it live and direct. So we cannot wait. And I'm looking forward to get also all the musicians that are in the album to be on tour with this project and be able also to express themselves as they did in the studio. They've done a great job.
Yeah, well, look, I know that that's definitely going to be a real joy to see you back over here, because you've performed in the UK, in Europe many times, I think, at a lot of big festivals. So, you know, we're all sitting here waiting patiently, just keeping our fingers crossed.
Definitely.
We can have, you know, more live reggae music over here as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we close today, a message to all the people that have been following Metal and the Cornerstones thus far.
Yes, pretty much I would say let's stay strong and be open ourselves also to the knowledge and wisdom that is given to us. You know, mostly there are a lot of talks about, you know, the science out there, you know, but let's be open, you know, and protect one another and look out for one another is very important. And, you know, pray that everything will go good soon, inshallah, and we can all go back to our activities, you know, in a peaceful way, healthy way, and let's all send out the positive vibration towards it, because that is the power of us coming back together. Let's all place our good intentions that we'll overcome this and we'll be out there, you know, and trust also those ones that are out there fighting to create a medicine that can, you know, help people and protect them. Let's give them, you know, a chance, you know, because I'm sure they are doing lots of work with the doctors in the hospital, all of them, and they are human beings like us. You know, I don't believe that people are out there trying to kill us with their medicines, all of that. You know, we have to be able to build trust and also be open to the gift of knowledge and medicine, scientifically, whatever out there. Yeah, man.
Look,
Bless.
I think that's a great message, you know, to leave for all the viewers as well. I want to give thanks to your time, and also big up to King IVF for making the connection as well.
Yes, King Ivy, big up yourself. It's amazing. Yes, he's definitely a Lion King.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah, well, we've been connecting together for quite a while now, so I'm glad that he's made that connection together for the two of us to speak today as well. And from all of the Reggae Interviews crew, we wish you every success going forwards with this album and future projects as well. One love.
Thank you very much. One love. Big up King. Yes, I. Bless.
Reggae Interviews. Word Sound Power.